Okay, so another free resource that I use quite regularly when I'm trying to get an understanding of a particular suburb is the ABS, or the Australian Bureau of Statistics, Quickstats. So to get to that, we go to abs.gov.au. In the search bar there, we just type in Quickstats. It'll bring up some options, and then we're looking to get that one there. Okay, so what we're looking at here is summary information from the most recent census, right? So this is a 2016 census. The one before that was 2011, and then before that 2006. So then we'll just look at Surrey Hills again, one we've looked at before for another video. We're looking here at the suburb level. And then basically what this gives us is a really sort of easy to navigate high level summary about the population of that particular suburb, right? So again, you've just got the map over here just showing you where it is in relation to the city. And just on the left here, this is sort of our summary information. So it's giving you sort of a snapshot of how many people live there, their median age, and all these sort of things. That's fine. I don't tend to pay too much attention to any of this. I dig a little bit deeper, right? So you can see some median income stuff here, but I tend to get my information from the more detailed tables below. So just to quickly go into the stuff that I think is probably most important from the quick stats for each suburb you're looking at, not so much around education or anything like that. The first thing I sort of look at is around employment, right? So if I'm looking at an area and I want it to be, kind of economically vibrant and want to get an idea of the unemployment rate, well, this is a good starting point, right? So using the ABS methodology here, it's telling me that the unemployment rate at that time in this suburb was 4.6 versus New South Wales average 6.3 and Australia's 6.9, right? So it's only a snapshot and things have moved on from them, obviously, but it does give you an idea. If you go a little bit further down, you'll see a bit more of a breakup about, the employment hours and stuff like that. Doesn't interest me that much. This is a little bit more interesting though. If I look at occupation, right? So if you sort of total these two numbers up, we're near that sort of 60% of people living in the area, be them owners or tenants, renters, sorry, they're sort of professionals and managers. So very white collar, and that's as expected basically for a suburb like that, so close to town. Then going down a little bit more, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting to me, giving the median weekly income again as at 2016, and you can see those sort of numbers are quite high in relation to national numbers there, right? Arguably more interesting though, if you're looking at it for an investment property and trying to work out who your tenants might be, is looking at this bit here, which is a travel to work, and trying to get an understanding of who's actually living in the area. So if you look at this one, this is not it's not normal to see it this high, but around a third of people who are living there walk to work, right? I mean, it's basically the CBD, so that kind of makes sense to me. Almost a fifth of people take train, and there's some other sort of public transport stuff in there as well. Look, knowing Surrey Hills, there's some light rail and stuff coming in now. So at the next census date, that would change potentially a little bit as well. But this is a really good thing if you don't know too much about a suburb at the start, to quickly look into this stuff and get an idea of, how important is it for me to be near a station or near bus routes, or do I need a car park or a garage or whatever it might be. So that's some pretty important information there. The other stuff that I really like to get an idea of is around dwelling structure. Okay, so if I just scroll down almost to the bottom here, you can see that of the properties there at that time, separate houses, right? So standalone houses, were less than 1%. Semis, townhouses, and terraces and stuff are sort of almost 30, and then sort of around 70% there are flats or apartments, right? So when you're sort of looking at purchasing a property and trying to work out, what sort of property you need to get within that suburb, it's unlikely that you'd be looking for a house in that. You're really sort of looking to meet tenant demand, and also find an area that will have lots of liquidity should you need to sell. So if it were me looking at these things, I'd be sort of looking at these two types of things. The next thing that I look at, and then that's probably about it really on quick stats, is the number of bedrooms, right? So you know, you can see sort of sub places where there will be very, very few one bedrooms. Again, given we looked up here, we sort of talked about flats and semis and stuff, then, or flats particularly, then that's why we have quite a, you know, quite a lot of one bedrooms in there. So, but it's also telling me that, you know, four or more bedrooms are very, very few. So if I'm looking at combining these two bits of information here, that flats and apartments are sort of, you know, 70%. And then within that, you know, one bedrooms and two bedrooms dominate, and that makes complete sense there. So look, ABS Quickstats is an awesome sort of tool to use, and it teaches you quite a lot. Some more useful than others, but it's a great stepping off point, and sort of, yeah, it gets you into some of the world of ABS, and then from there you can dive a lot deeper. But certainly you can get up to speed on a suburb relatively quickly, and it's free information there at ABS Quickstats. So hope that helps.